This month, you are going to have a significant life experience which is going to require changes to be made almost instantly. This is going to be connected to really powerful revelations. But at the same time, I have to stress the fact that you are going to be under some kind of illusion which is going to mess up the actual timing just a little bit. So it's going to give you like some kind of illusion where you're going to think like, okay, I'm going to focus on this part of my life like later on. No, baby, no. This is something that you need to do now. This is something that you need to start now. This is something that you need to begin right now when it comes to this month, when it comes to this timing, because it's important, because it's going to be directly connected to the most powerful adjustment you have done in a long time. My name is Sasha Bonasin and I'm a psychic medium, and this is your monthly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's for you, my gorgeous Sagittarius, and it's for April 2022. So this monthly horoscope tarot card focus is for you, my gorgeous Sagittarini, and it's for April 2022. Do you know, I really like this month in so many different ways, but you are gonna be able to kind of feel the energy change right from the beginning of April. Right from the 1st of April, you are gonna become aware of the different vibration and different energy. But at the same time, within the first few days of April, there is going to be this specific little information that you're gonna have, the specific little message that you are going to have, and this is gonna be such an amazing starting point. And the message and information that I'm talking about, it's not connected to your life, like, you know, to your personal life, but it's to do with like things on the outside that have been going on and that have been affecting your life. And it's also to do with the waiting and waiting and waiting, waiting and waiting and waiting. This particular information, it's only going to be tiny little information, and it's to do with something on the outside, but again, it was connected to you because it was affecting your life in general. It was affecting your way of thinking. It was affecting your way of planning, and therefore, you know, it was basically just draining way too much energy out of you. And sometimes, you know, we have our energy drained and we don't even understand. We kind of get used to it, you know, because it has been a while. But then at the same time, when you reach this powerful point and powerful stage within the first few days of April, you will know exactly what I mean. It's all about the fresh energy, you know, which is going to just naturally start pushing you almost immediately towards the fact, towards the path where you're going to know, when you're going to realize, when you're going to become aware of the imminent changes. But it's all to do with the new fresh living which is about to emerge at the same time. This is exactly what you need. This is exactly what you wanted. This is going to mean to you so much. And I'm saying to you, it's to do with a tiny little information and message that it's to do with the outside. And it's not like, oh my God, all become really pink and beautiful and gorgeous, blah blah blah. No, baby, no. But this is just a tiny little information, tiny little message that is just like kind of like a start shining really brightly above all the negativities and sadness and uncertainties that we have been showered with for a while. So is this hope that it's gonna, at that moment in time, it's just like a imprint, this powerful spiritual you know, energy within you, which is at the same time gonna be your guiding light. So this is why this is so important. It's about the moment of inspiration. It's about the moment of knowing that, you know, the specific aspect of your life, it's about to start changing really nicely. And that is the moment in time, my gorgeous Sagittarini, when you're gonna already know, when you're gonna already be aware of the certain plan that almost immediately you're gonna start kind of thinking about without even realizing consciously. Your subconscious mind, it's about to take over. And this is why you must, most importantly, throughout the actual month of April, just pay attention to the inspirations that you are going to have, because they are not only going to come from somewhere else, very deep within, but at the same time, this inspiration is coming right now when it's meant to come, at the best possible time in your life. The actual April 2022, it's the time when you're going to be able to feel this energy, you know. And also, when it comes to the actual inspirations, my gorgeous Sagittarini, you know, it is a strong time because everything is changing, you know, the weather is changing, you know. March and April are both as important and as significant when it comes to the energy change. So the energy is changing, the nature is changing, we are changing, everything is changing. And when we throw ourselves towards this particular spiritual flow, then we suddenly just kind of like start dealing with things and problems and negativities that we didn't want to deal with, but we know that we have to at some moment in our lives. But when it comes to that inspirations that I'm talking about, you know, pay attention to the actual 4th of April, pay attention to the 14th of April, and pay attention to the 24th of April. You see, you get it? It's these beautiful angelic numbers. You've got 3 number 4 here, and this is pretty much so to do with a very strong connection with your own spirituality, which is always the best way to be when we try to find out certain things about our lives, what we're going to do next and things like that. The bottom line is, when you pay attention to these dates, 4th of April, 14th of April and 24th of April, these 3 days are going to be completely different, but there is one specific thing that they are going to have in common. You know, these 3 days, one specific thing is going to be in common indeed, but on another hand, it's all going to boil down towards that particular inspiration that I'm talking about. You know, this is so important for you to see, this is so important for you to understand, because you're about like to enter, really pretty much so, at the beginning of April, you're about to enter your caterpillar moment, and over these 3 days are going to be super fundamental when it comes to you reaching the actual 29th and the 30th of April, where there is going to be really important opportunity that is just going to manifest for you. And if you didn't go, and this is going to become your butterfly moment, so just remember, you're still going to be in your caterpillar mode on the 4th, 14th and the 24th of April, but by the time you come to the 29th and the 30th of April, you shall become a gorgeous little butterfly, my gorgeous Sagittarini. And this is so important, my gorgeous Sagittarini. Metamorphosis, absolutely brilliant. I like it. You will see exactly what I mean, because on the 29th and the 30th of April, you are going to be facing like a really bizarre and strange situation where you are going to discover something about yourself. It's going to cause from you to kind of explore a certain part of your life, and this in itself is going to be imminent for you to discover. There's something very special about yourself, my gorgeous Sagittarini, and it is to do with your internal calling. It's to do with your job on this earth. And if you're still confused, oh, I don't know what my job is on this earth. No, baby, no, don't worry. Let the energy flow through your own passion. Your own passion will be talking to you. Your own passion will be communicating with you. Your own passion is also going to be a guiding light. So this is how you know what your purpose is on this earth, you know. Your passion is your power. Your power is your passion. So this is something you most certainly and most importantly you need to remember. When it comes to the actual numbers, I mean, my lordy lord, it's number 444 in numerology. So here you have number 444 when I said about that inspiration, but at the same time, because it's a highly powerful number, 444, when it comes to our intuition, guardian angels, when it comes to our spirit guides, my lord, you know, you're also going to have signs throughout the actual April, let alone when it comes to 4th, 14 and the 24th of April. You know, you're also going to have a very strong signs, but also on another hand throughout the actual months of April, you are going to have this feeling, you know, like someone is around you, you know, like someone is watching me. Hello, my darling. You know, like you're going to have this feeling like throughout the actual April. And normally you would be like, you know, sometimes, you know, in the middle of the night, you're at home, like, and you're by yourself, like it's dark, la la la. And the dimension, it's really strange that you're in it, for example. And then you come across something like kind of like you become aware of like someone is around you. But then again, it's just kind of, it would be like, oh God, you know, but now you're just going to feel this this positive energy. You're going to feel this very optimistic energy. You're going to feel like someone is actually guiding you. So, there are going to be lots of little signs that you need to pay attention to. And this is number 444. It's very strongly showing and indicating, that now you are really pretty much so going to break free. Your spirit is about to break free. And that in itself, it's also going to be super obvious within the last 7 days of April, because the particular stage of your life is slowly and gently coming to an end. And that is nothing bad or nothing negative, but it's just karmically, you're just going to need to move on, because maybe you were just draining your energy by wasting your time, by focusing on a specific part of your life that no longer serves you anymore. So that's fine. You have learned a very important lesson, and that in itself is going to be quite as important for you indeed. On another hand, when it comes to number 444, do you know what? You are actually going to become aware of like some kind of pretty much so something very unknown. You're going to become aware of, you're going to become kind of like aware of an unknown, you're going to become awake. I would like to use the word awake. You're going to become awake to an unknown danger, and you being awake to an unknown danger, it's going to be brilliant. On one hand, it's to do with things that you have been through, it's to do with your own experience, but then on another hand, it's also to do with an additional information that you are going to become aware of at around the 17th of April indeed. And that in itself, it's going to be brilliant, because it's going to help you like kind of to understand things that you couldn't understand before. Although you're not going to be able to get the whole picture, but come on, man, you will know what's bad and what's good. You know what I mean? Good, you go towards it. Bad, don't go towards it. Don't go towards the path of your life that doesn't like kind of make sense to you whatsoever, that it's way too dark and it's connected to the darkness and negativity and uncertainty and the certain lies and things like that. You follow your own path. You follow the light. I'm going to say this 1,000,000 times. You follow your own path. You follow your own light by your own passion, by making sure that you kind of like stay grounded in this world, on your spiritual journey, in this life, by really being centered. And how you're going to be centered, just like basically stay grounded by following your passion, by following your intuition. It doesn't matter how stormy is outside, how dark can be outside, how negative and how weird it can get, but this is something that your job is, while we are on this earth, because it's pretty much so the fact that this life, it's not meant to be like easy. This life is sadly meant to be really kind of like a complicated in so many different ways, and this depends on our spiritual journeys and things like that, of course. But this is why I just need you to remember that there is a very important way out that you are going to have. The new portal is about to open for you, and that in itself, it's also going to start at a moment in time when somebody who mean to you so much, a certain person, is just going to give you tell you something, and it's something to do with them, something to do with their happiness, something to do with them moving on, something to do with them doing something that they wanted to do for a long time, and this is going to mean to you so much. And this moment in time, you will know that the new portal is about to open. You will feel something you haven't felt in a long time, and that in itself, it's almost immediately going to help you to start reconnection with yourself, which is going to make you aware of the certain alliances, and certain new people that are about to enter your life. And that in itself, it's also going to highlight the path that you should be on. The path that you should be on, it's going to be the path of the connection, reconnection, and making sure that you understand and you are aware of new alliances coming into your life, new people coming into your life. This is the time when you will know that this is your path, this is the portal that it's about to open, so it's important. On another hand, so when you become aware of this, when you become awake to these unknown dangers that I'm talking about, that in itself, it's going to help you to open your eyes to deal with a certain problem, to deal with a certain issue, that was really bothering you for the last year, but also it's going to give you strong control over the particular problem, strength, courage, it's going to basically really bring you so much positive and optimistic energy, which is going to in turn into determination. And this is what I like, because the bottom line is, it's all about the confidence that you are going to have, because you will be able to see, you will be able to feel certain certain things about your immediate future, which is going to give you confidence in order to step forward, in order to kind of carry on with a certain action in our lives. You will know that this is the part of your life that is going to bring you an amazing, remarkable accomplishment. So on another hand, this is going to in turn, my gorgeous Sagittarini, towards your own experience, towards things that mean to you. So this is why I'm saying here that it's pretty much so a lot to do with why you are on this earth, what your job is, you know, what your role is. Every single one have got a specific role, and I mentioned this before, and if you don't know what this is, you can very easily find yourself by exploring as much as you can, but you can only do this by following your own passion, because your passion is your guiding light. Your spirit guides, your guardian angel, all this is going to come through your own passion, because when you allow yourself to follow your own true passion, your true passion, then you also have your energy is very impactful and your energy is very strong. You become courageous, but at the same time you become like a little mirror, because you start attracting things into your life that you should be attracting at this moment in time. So this is what I need you to understand to make the most of it. So it's a lot to do with your experience, it's a lot to do with the things that have already brought you success into your life, but it's also to do with you be kind of like a being as basically open-minded as you can, because what is going to happen, someone who is like quite very kind of close to you and very important to you, it's going to kind of step forward, and then going to talk to you and tell you something. There is going to be some kind of quite important conversation that you're going to have, and after that conversation you will feel something, oh God, yeah, I want to do this, I want to go for it, and it's to do with a wise investment. You're going to find out to that particular person in your life where you should be actually, where to make a wise investment, and that is going to become obvious, where you need to remember to stay committed to the task at hand that you're currently working on, because what you're doing right now, what are you working on, what task at hand you are having, you are going to have a bit of a challenging situation at around the mid-April, where you're going to see like, oh God, you know, I'm not too sure, I can't do this anymore. No baby, no. Persistency is the key. Sometimes in this life we have to do things that we don't want to do. We have to show up on the days that we don't want to show up. We have to kind of like we just have to kind of show our face and kind of do things even if we don't feel like doing them. So this is all about the persistence and the power of you just basically showing up. This is going to be important, but it's also going to be quite obvious to you why am I actually saying this, okay? And you are going to become aware of your own strength, you know, after the end of this month. You are going to become aware of your own strength indeed, and it's just basically, it's all about the through your own confidence, passion, it's all to do with your own resilience, you know. This is all the actual to do with your own courage and the inner power, which is going to be highlighted. But on another hand, these things are going to be primarily responsible for you feeling very, very creative indeed throughout this month. You know, you're going to be in this mode when you will want to kind of to explore as much as you can, but especially when it comes to the stage in the period in between the 16th and the 30th of April, you know, there is a very strong creativity that you're going to feel. But beforehand, you're going to see something. And this is, you're going to see the specific situation which is going to inspire you so much. Whether this is going to be on the outside, whether you're going to watch TV, whether you're going to read something, but you are going to see this specific situation that is just going to like really inspire you. And there you're going to feel a very strong connection about your own creativity. You will be like, oh my God, I want to do this. I want to be like that. And this is brilliant, because this is the perfect person to actually look up to, and it's going to take an exactly 26 days until the actual you have this moment of self-illumination where you know you are going to realize that you're in self-denial, because something in between is still going to be kind of blocking you and preventing you to move on. And it's again to do with the part of your life and the part of yourself that you need to let go, because you grew out of it, and that is going to become obvious by the end of this month. What I mentioned before, you're just going to kind of, this is all going to be connected. So it's all about you realizing that you're in self-denial, and that in itself, and that moment in time when you realize that you're in self-denial, then this is going to be like, oh my God, connected to the completely unexpected situation. And that in itself, it's really going to surprise you, you know, so much, because on one hand you're going to realize that you're approaching the end of the very, very annoying and horrible and dark stage of your life, slowly baby but surely. And this in itself is going to put a massive smile on your gorgeous Sagittarian face. But also on another hand, it's just about the stage of culmination and the healing that is going to come through. It's going to be almost immediately connected to an important conclusion, but then it's all about the outcome when it comes to your life and just doing the right thing and moving on the next stage, where before you would be like, oh, I'm not too sure, but now you're just going to like sail through like a big banana, like there is no tomorrow. What I want you to remember is when you have this kind of unexpected situation after that moment in time, this unexpected situation is pretty much so going to really kind of throw you out of the balance just a little bit. But this is what you need. You need this vibration and you need this energy, because when you're thrown out of the balance in this particular way, then you kind of have no choice but to think about certain aspects of your lives that you wouldn't normally think about, but you will have to. You will must do that. This is important, and it's going to get you thinking and it's going to get you going. You need to remember to trust your own intuition first before anything else, because it's going to bring you an important change into your life. But also you will be very, very wise at this time as well, and you will be aware of things that you weren't aware of before. And specifically the last 2 days of April, this is going to be happening here. The whole new hope and inspiration is going to come through, because you're going to become aware of the bright prospects, very important prospects with unlimited possibilities, which are going to also kind of make you aware of the certain things from the past that you still need to bring in. There is an element of yourself that you left in the past, and now it's time to bring this through, and now it's time to bring this forward. There is so much that you're also going to find out about yourself through this stage, what bits and pieces are missing in your life when it comes to your spiritual growth then and there. On another hand, you know, it's just all about the optimism and a very interesting and unusual sign that you are going to have. And when you have this interesting and unusual sign over the last couple of days this April, my gorgeous Sagittarians, this is important because it's to do with your devotion. It's to do with like you knowing and understanding exactly which part of your life, which specific goal do you need to put more attention towards, do you need to put more energy towards, you see, and it's going to be slightly different goal to what you would normally go for. But this is all about the power of adjustment at the time when we are changing, at the time when karmically we went through so much, and now we are prepared for this particular stage. We have got an inner knowledge to deal with our lives from a much higher angle. When you look at your life from a much higher angle, you're going to be able to see the bigger picture, and once you see the bigger picture, you're going to become aware of the beginning of a new cycle, new stage, new portal. It's about to open. And it's also really important to remain and stay focused, because it's just going to bring you really a satisfaction and an accomplishment, but also at the same time it's going to help you to break free. You know, when it comes to your spirit, when it comes to your soul, this is exactly what you need. By the time, you know, you're going to start here something really important, my gorgeous Sagittarini. By the end of this month, you're going to start something really important. There are little spiritual seeds that you're going to plant. And also when you see certain bits and pieces this month, like you're going to feel like you want to learn quite a lot, just go for it, because it's to do with a certain learning experience that it's also going to be playing an important role. And that learning experience is also going to take place by the end of April 2022. As I said, you are going to start a certain process, certain progress. You're also already going to plant a spiritual seed, and you will not even going to be able to kind of realize this at that moment in time. Okay, but how you will know what that spiritual seed is, basically through the actual learning experience. There is something very interesting that it's going to be calling you at around the end of April to learn, to read up, to explore. And that moment in time, without even realizing and knowing, you are stepping on a very, very interesting journey that is never gonna end in the best possible way when it comes to your own promotion of your own spirituality and your own energy and your own life. Not only this is going to bring you so much courage when you need it the most, but also it is going to have a remarkable, absolutely mind-blowing stage in December 2022, December 2022 and January 2020 2023 are going to be absolutely huge, and your life is just going to like kind of blow up in the best possible way. Your life then is going to be completely different, and you will see and you will be able to notice very strong correlation with everything that I've actually mentioned so far. This is so important to again say, my gorgeous Sagittarini, a whole new fresh way of living is about to emerge. You know, go deep and explore your roots. Go deep and explore your roots. You know, suddenly there are also going to be like a moments this month when you're going to feel like, oh my God, like you want to find out a bit more about yourself, like in terms of like a certain people in the family, in certain like you will want to find out a little bit more. There is something that is missing when it comes to your knowledge, and when it comes to your maybe family, when it comes to the specific parts of your life. You will want to find out there is something that is missing, and this is important because this information is also going to be playing an important role when it comes to you realizing why did you have a difficulties launching new projects when it comes to the last 2 or 3 years. There is something really specific going to be answered to you through this particular way. You know, you will know and you will realize that all this time the answers have been within. So now, my gorgeous Sagittarius, when it comes to the actual health and things like that, you're also having like the problems with digestion. Every single sign this month is having a problem with digestion and sensitivity due to the actual sugar, due to like a sugary kind of things, you know, sugary drinks, sugary treats, sugary sweets. So my advice is to cut out sugar completely. I know I spoke about this like 5 million times, but I'm going to say it every single time, especially when I see that the actual sugar can cause this negativity and blockage when it comes to your stomach, when it comes to your digestion, and it's absolutely vile. So if you can completely cut out sugar out of your life, would be fantastic. I do not take sugar at all. I cut out sugar and I did not look back. Okay, so organic maple syrup, maybe organic honey. Okay, so organic maple syrup, organic honey, this is what you can use instead, and try to cut out sugar completely, and you will see how much better you're gonna feel in terms of energy. This is something that is gonna help so much with your own balance, and you will see, my lord, how your energy is actually going to pick up, you know, because I can see that the sugar and things like that are actually doing complete opposite of what lots of people think. Lots of people think, oh yeah, sugar is gonna give me like energy, blah blah blah. No baby, no, it's actually doing complete opposite. Try to do it for just 1 month and you will see exactly what I mean. It's going to reflect on your whole well-being. So this is why this is so important. So try to maybe like also like if you like a sweets and things like that, of course you don't have to do what I say, but I'm just telling you that this is going to help with your personal balance. So if you do like a sweets and things like that, maybe you can try to have like a dark chocolate. So the darker cocoa content is in the actual dark chocolate, the better is for you, because the dark chocolate is actually quite good for us, and the sugar levels, you know, it's not like as in high in sugar like in the normal like rubbish chocolates, which are like no baby no, but the dark chocolate is actually quite good for you, and it's not as sweet, but then again you take a little bit and then, you know, it's just basically can replace these sugar cravings. And also maybe if you have like a bananas, or maybe you have like if you have a fruit and vegetable, when you feel that need, you know, to eat sweets. And on another hand, maybe try to drink like a lots of water, because that in itself, it's also going to help you to flush out the toxins out of the system when you need it the most, especially when we are all changing at this time of the year. But at the same time, as I said, just try to kind of like avoid like a sugary drinks, like a squashes, juices and things like that. And also on another hand, what I mentioned before would be organic dandelion tea, organic chamomile tea. Try to sip this and drink this throughout the months, and that is going to also be very beneficial, and it's going to contributing towards you get rid of the toxins in your body that you do not need whatsoever. So try to do this and you're gonna see how much better you're gonna feel. And then on another hand, it is a powerful time when it comes to our health, when it comes to our spirituality, to try to connect and reconnect with the nature. I know lots of people are like, oh God, here we go, he's on about the nature. No baby, no. March and April are both big mamas when it comes to like and as I said before, like a nature changing, the air is changing, the energy is changing, we are changing, everything is changing. So we just go with this particular flow. But in terms of spirituality, we open up so much and we get hold of kind of things that we wouldn't kind of get hold of as soon, as quick. So we are showered with these particular blessings as well when certain things are pointed at us to help us on our spiritual journey. So if you just spend a little bit of time in the nature, within the nature, next to the sea if you're lucky enough, next to the lake, next to the river if you can, or just simply within the forest somewhere, and you will see, you just sit down and think about something completely different, like think about our beautiful trees or something, and then you will see that there is a lot that is going to come to you just out of the blue. Certain things are going to come to your mind that are really going to surprise you. But then again, this is all connected with your own spiritual path and doing the right thing at the right moment in time. And it's also, you will notice like what you it's the power of this particular synchronicity when you're just relaxing and chilling out, and you're in that stage in between like falling asleep and being awake, and it's like to do with meditation, but it's very wise moment. It brings us very wise moment of understanding, you know, our path from a much higher angle. So this is something I would highly recommend you, because a lot is going to be coming to you in that way as well. You're going to clear a lot of negative energy that you could have picked up over the last 24 months indeed, but then at the same time it's just going to be pointing you towards the right directions. So now I go to Sagittarius. I'm just going to see what is going to be your first date. But before I go there, what I would highly recommend you look at this beautiful pendant, and it's called faceted pregnant. It's absolutely beautiful, very gorgeous. Like only holding it in my hand I feel so much better. But why is this so important for you to wear in April, May and June? Primarily because it's going to help you to open yourself up even more. It's going to help you to understand things that you wouldn't normally understand by being prepared and by being aware of a very significant life experiences that we are about to have. And you know, like by being prepared, it's just like pretty much so it also helps us to kind of make the most of the particular spiritual journeys and particular opportunities that we would have to wait for a long time otherwise for them to come back into our lives. So this is why this is so important. When it comes to your intuition, it enhances your intuition. When it comes to you opening your eyes, it helps you to open your eyes. It helps you very gently with your own grounding, but on another hand, you know, it enhances precognition and inner knowing. It enables you to always be prepared, and it also calms the environment. And this is important to mention, that it calms the environment, because there is a lot of confusion that you will go throughout the months of April, May and June. And there are specific situations that you're going to be part of, bless your heart, and I think that they're going to get you. Maybe you're going to become aware of like kind of what happened to certain people or what certain people are going through, but you're also going to come across a lot of people who don't understand you, a lot of people who don't understand your way of thinking, you know, and this is all to do with the certain differences that have been caused by opposed way of thinking. When we are surrounded by the people who have got such a completely different way of thinking, and people have been misled at the same time, then that can be very energy draining, and it can surprise us the way people can become, and that can just kind of drain our energy then and there when it comes to like what we should be focusing on. So this is how you protect yourself, you protect your energy, but also at the same time when you're thinking about big and important parts of your life, it just kind of like it's guiding you by kind of like getting the vivid picture in your mind about a certain aspects ahead. So this is something I highly recommend you. So it's a faceted pregnant, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel as well. So thank you very much. Thank you. So and the link is in the description below at the bottom of this video. So now I go to Sagittarius. The first important date is going to be on the 3rd of April. Now actually it's not only the 3rd of April, but you've got the 1st of April and the 2nd of April. Something is going to be constantly on your mind. There are little signs that you are going to have, and these little signs, tiny little signs, you know, but very tiny and very little signs, are going to be preparing you for what is going to happen on the 3rd of April. And on the 3rd of April you are are gonna have a very kind of interesting experience, very kind of like an interesting experience, completely out of the blue, but then at the same time it is just basically going to really make you feel really open, make you feel really optimistic. It's going to make you feel really powerful, it's going to make you feel really keen, it's going to make you feel really eager, because it's at the same time it's bringing an important initiative. And that initiative that I'm talking about, you're not going to become aware of the possibilities that are going to be connected to this just yet, but in between the 3rd and the 16th of April, slowly but surely, baby, one step at a time, by the time you get to the 16th of April, you're going to become aware of the actual possibilities, very kind of important possibilities that have been connected to this intuition. So this is why it's important to open ourselves up in such a way where you just kind of, on one hand, you pay attention to things that you feel passionate about, but on another hand, you just sometimes we just really have to really be really quick, and sharp with certain things in life in order to go on the next stage. We just have to be as spontaneous as we possibly can. Trust me, by being spontaneous throughout the months of April, this is really going to have a massive impact on your life, because by being spontaneous, we are really pretty much so responding to our subconscious mind, which is the best thing to do at this very moment in time. And also, on another hand, on the 3rd of April, you will know that this is a pretty much so going to be connected to your growth, but it's also going to be connected to the little bit of a hard work. But you will know, my babies, there is no progress without the actual hard work. This is how it goes, and that in itself is going to be connected to your finances, financial situation, to your personal security, to your future planning, but also, at the same time, the fact that you're going to become aware of the results of the certain efforts, this is also going to pretty much so be playing an important role in itself when it comes to that little push towards the right direction, because what didn't make sense to you is going to make sense to you now. And or you are going to become aware of a very kind of the next step after this moment in time. On the 3rd of April, it's going to be the actual you realizing that there is going to need to be a reorganization, okay? But also, it is more importantly, in order to kind of make this happen, you are going to need to have a certain dealings, okay? And these are going to be really successful. No matter what you think, no matter how you feel about it, oh my God, like, you're going to need to have a certain important conversation with someone, in terms of like a little bit of dealings and things like that, but these are going to be very successful dealings that I'm talking about. So this is something that is going to be having like a quite strong connection when it comes to this, that you're going to become aware of, and then you will know what to do. But then on another hand, somebody very sincere and beautiful and understanding in your life, somebody who is playing a very important role in your life, it's actually going to come through and tell you the certain advice. It's going to tell you something really interesting, and it's so important because it's to do with an important advice, and because you really think the world of this particular person, you really like this person, you really look up to this person. So this in itself, it's really going to mean to you so much, because it's going to connect you to that particular goal, and it's going to highlight something that you're very good about, something that you're very special about, something that you're very brilliant about. So it's you having this highlighted by someone who means to you so much. And when certain people are in our lives, they are meant to be in our lives, they're meant to be in our spiritual journey. So this is going to mean to you so much, because it's coming from someone who it's very genuine, who is it's very sincere, but also that person means to you so much, you see. So this is going to mean to you because it's going to point the right qualities about yourself, and you're going to be like, oh, so proud about yourself. But it's not only about that, but it's about just getting that energy going by realizing who you actually are, and what your role is here, and what the next step it's going to be. It's going to pretty much so going to make you feel very passionate and confident, and it's going to be connected to the events that are going to require immediate action, but it's all about you trusting your instincts, staying focused, and just focusing the part of your life that makes you feel really passionate indeed. Okay, so the next date, and before I go there, another pendant I was going to show you. This one is so beautiful. Look how unique is this one. Absolutely gorgeous, and these are quite rare as well. It's a chrome chalcedony And it's brilliant when it comes to like a career, it's brilliant when it comes to finances, it's brilliant when it comes to work, it's brilliant when it comes to positive energy, it's brilliant when it comes to being optimistic and staying on that level in the world of like weirdness. And also at the same time, it encourages you to do things that you should be doing, no matter who you are around, no matter like kind of what's going on in your life. You know, you just have to keep on remaining balanced. You need to keep on, you know, keep remaining strong. But this helps you to kind of like a being centered on a much higher level. By the same time, it makes you feel so much more successful because it attracts finances and prosperity into your life. So that means that when it comes to that particular path, it really helps you with that balance when you're like kind of uncertain, because you have been through so much, and then you're just going to naturally worry quite a lot throughout April, May and June, and naturally you just want to think about every single aspect. But sometimes we just drain our energy like that, and then just we mess things up for ourselves, and then we just have to wait for a certain kind of like a period where we need to catch up, you know, with that specific aspect, because it's important. So it's brilliant when it comes to planning, it's brilliant when it comes to our own connection with doing things right in the best possible way, by choosing the right things that can bring us the success into our lives in the shortest possible way. Okay, so this basically also kind of like encourages positive and constructive self-reflection and increases physical energy, blood and circulation at the same time. This comes with a sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel as well, so thank you very much for that. I have to say that. The second important date is going to be on the 16th of April. Now the 16th of April, you see, you're going to have a bit of a confusion here. You know, you're going to come across like a very kind of weird and bizarre and a negative and dark situation where you're just going to feel like, oh, completely drained. But just remember that, you know, it needs to get worse in order to get better. And this is the moment, and this is the bridge that you're at the same time about to cross. But you must not lose your hope. Just remember that the current path that you're on, that the current things that you're working on are going to succeed. And you need to understand that any obstacles that you're going to have are going to be absolutely fine. You just need to remain focused in order to gain this balance. So you are going to have a situation on the 16th of April where you're going to be like, oh God, you know, you're going to be facing the very important part of your life. And you're going to think like, oh no, this is not going to work, blah, blah, blah. No, baby, no. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. This is just a little bit of a challenge. This is just a little bit of a test here. Effort, you need to continue with this effort until full success is attained. This is very important because it is going to give you really great pleasure very, very soon. At the same time, by you realizing that you need to kind of carry on with a certain effort until the full success is attained, you will see exactly why am I saying this. You know, you're also going to become aware of the certain deception of the certain person with a very much so lots of dishonesty about them, and that in itself is going to like kind of make you aware of how insincere that person is. But on another hand, it's going to make you aware of this. So this is important. It just looks like you're going to be disappointed with a certain person that is going to leave just a little bit of bitter experience in your mouth, but then again at the same time you will kind of become aware of the fact that your life was stationary for quite a while because of that particular person. So it doesn't really matter. Bye bye, darling. So it doesn't really matter, and that in itself is actually going to work really brilliantly for you, because in between the 16th of April and the 21st of April, you know, you're just going to like kind of like you're still going to really think like, oh my God, like here now about this effort continued until full success is attained. This is going to create a little bit of tiny little problem in itself. But in between the 16th and the 21st of April, you are gonna pretty much so have a very powerful resolution here. Resolution. 21st of April is also bringing a strong resolution. Conclusion, which is almost immediately going to bring a healing and positive energy into your life. It's going to make you feel pretty much so really happy and positive, but also on another hand, it's going to lead towards a certain compromise, and that certain compromise, it's also going to bring two people closer together, you and someone else. But on another hand, something is going to inspire you so much. much. And that once you're inspired, it's going to be required. You're going to feel very strong connection to revisit old plan and old dream. But before you do that, you're going to need to embrace your inner child. This is very important indeed. Okay, so now the third date that I'm going to be talking about is going to be the 27th of April. Now the 27th of April is also going to be a little bit of a big mama here, because you're going to feel a bit of a struggle and a little bit of unsatisfied desires. And now that is just going to kind of like remind you of an obstacle that you've had over the last 5 months. And then what is going to happen? Very important person is going to come forward, someone who's been consistent and persistent in your life, but not a friend, someone who's been in a certain way persistent and consistent in your life. It's going to be directly responsible for you getting some kind of advice to that person when it comes to action, when it comes to the next step. This is brilliant, because as soon as you become aware of this advice, there is going to be some kind of a timing that you're going to become aware of that you weren't aware of before, and that in itself is going to give you room to think. And when you think, you're going to realize that you just need to be patient. It's all about the harmony, and also realizing that you're going to need to make a really big adjustment in your life. This is brilliant, because at the same time there is going to be quite interesting sign that you are going to have as well. Very interesting and very unique sign you will have, and you know how you're going to feel after you have that sign. You're going to feel like you have to do something really quickly, and you have to be really sharp and quick. And this is exactly what you need to do, because that in itself, it's about to reveal one of the most interesting times of your life in terms of your own devotion, when you're going to start feeling alive again, when you're going to start feeling re-energized again. This is brilliant, because you will see that all this time it's all about you, and it's all about your internal fire, it's all about your internal passion, but it's also the importance of you knowing that, you know, in this life, when it's so dark outside, it's just important to keep going no matter what. Okay, so now I go to Sagittarius. I'm just going to see what is going to happen in the first part of April, mid-April, and the last part of April. The first part of April, just remember, this is going to be so important here. Never underestimate your ability to make your dreams come true. Okay, this is so brilliant. Never, ever, ever. Because you will see how strong you actually are, how powerful you are, but there is also going to be a certain uniqueness about yourself that is going to be highlighted. This is something that you need to pay attention to. The mid part of April, it's all about you feeling very kind of optimistic, and at the same time creative, but at the same time you are going to become aware of the actual very exciting opportunities. And the next step after that moment in time, it's all about your own creativity, okay, and doing those things that make you feel really passionate. And also you need to remember, you need to finish what you start. Whatever you start that you can finish really quickly, just do it. This is so important, so you can make the most of this wonderful energy that is going to bring you so much more. Okay, and the last part of April, just remember to focus on things when it comes to your growth, like focus on your career, focus on your finances, focus on your next step, because there are so many options that are going to come to you, and purely because you have been prepared for this moment for a really long time. So now it's the time to go on the next step, next stage of your life. So now I go to Sagittarius. I'm just going to see what is going to happen to those of you in relationship. Now it's about a very big change. I really like it. You are both reaching a very important stage, like where you just absolutely had enough of you're going to become very bored with a certain aspect of your life, and you will want to change it, because you will be like, this absolutely doesn't make sense. I want to change my life. I want to move on. And this is exactly what is going to happen to relationship, to the people in relationship. It's all about establishing, realizing which part of your life that you're both so bold with, and that in itself is gonna start the process of abandonment then and there. It's to do with the sacrifice in terms of the actual readjustment, but then again, you just both have to be very, very honest with each other, because this is something that is imminent, this is something that is needed, because this aspect of your life made both of you really unhappy. So it's pretty much so to do a lot with like a last week of April, where you are actually, as the couple, you are really gonna do something so big and so huge when it comes to like your own future. You're gonna come up with some kind of a plan that is so important, but on another hand, it's something that you both wanted to do for quite a while, but you just had to leave it behind because you didn't feel the time is right. Now you just need to understand to keep going. For those of you who are single, my gorgeous Sagittarius, you are first of all gonna realize this month it's more important for this particular realization that I'm talking about. You will realize that only this month you are gonna become ready to let someone new into your life. Karmically, it wasn't the right time. Karmically, you weren't ready. You are gonna be ready for the new person in your life, for the new person who is about to enter your life right at around the end of April 2022, because you are gonna first of all realize something. What caused you difficulties so far to find someone? What was causing this difficulty? This is really important, because that reflects on many other aspects of your life as well. And this is going to be big, because as soon as you realize what was causing you difficulties to bring someone special into your life, it's almost immediately going to redirect you towards the certain change that you need to make. Just remember, towards the certain change that you need to make. Now, this is the key word, because the change that you need to make is going to happen within the last 7 days of April indeed, but May, it's going to put you on the path with someone very, very special indeed. Okay, my gorgeous Sagittarius, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light. So I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye.